think that cutting back the goals against has been such a struggle for you guys so far this year?
Great question. If I had the answer, I'd probably implement it in here right away. Obviously, it's not the one way I think we're getting scored on. I think it's many factors that factors into it. I think there's the odd game, it's the rushes that's the problem. The odd game, it's mental errors or mistakes or lapses, whatever you want to call it. So I think it's a matter of right now we're not scoring at the pace where we can, I guess, mask those mistakes, and it's costing us games, and that's what we got to have a little bit of understanding that we need to play a little bit tighter, make sure we don't get those mistakes or giving up easy goals, so to speak. We can't give up 3-on-1s with one pass open net goal. We got to make teams earn the goals more in some areas. But to answer your question, it's a broad question. I think there's a lot of different variables that goes into it, and hopefully by tomorrow we can make sure we limit those.
As a leader, I don't know if you can do more than what your own job is, or if that's not the right thing to do, try and do other people's jobs. Everyone wants it to work, so I just wonder about the commitment of trying to do it but not do too much.
Yeah, I think a role of, I guess I've been in the league now for a while, knowing that as much as you want to do more and be the guy that's the difference maker for your team, at the same time I think the role of a leader is also to not panic, not go out of your way to be, I guess, not your normal self, and people will be like, oh, okay, he's panicking now. You got to kind of make sure the room feels calm, because, again, we had 50 shots yesterday. We had almost 100 attempts. I thought we played really good against Calgary. There is still a process that's working. It's just because it's the first 10 games of the season and everyone's seeing the win columns only at 2. Nobody's happy with that. I'm not saying that at all, but I think my job, as much as trying to do more and trying to be more of a difference maker out there, it's also about making sure the room is feeling, even though the results hasn't gone our way yet, that we're working towards a process that will lead us to a segment where we win a bunch of games and make up for this.
Is the standard that it's unacceptable? If you guys want to be a cup contender, the standards obviously have to be really, really high. So how do you, as a group, how do you set that standard that anything less than that isn't acceptable within the group?
Well, 2-6-1 is not acceptable, so we all know that in here. But if we're going to sit here and yell at each other and that's not constructive to me. I mean, we have to be solution-based and want to work towards a solution where we know how this team can get hot. I mean, I was part of it last year towards the end, where you just glaring hot and you can't lose games pretty much. So we're in a funk right now. We're in a bit of a hole and a slow start, but at the same time, it's not like we've been. I mean, there's been games where we haven't liked our effort or been outplayed, but there's also been, especially these last 2 games here, we've played pretty decent and we're working towards, I guess, winning hockey games. And right now I feel like when we play good, we have for some reason found a way to lose and not found a way to win. And when you go bad for a couple of games, that's usually what happens. You kind of seem to follow that track, and then on the flip side of that, when you do win a lot of games, there's some games where you don't deserve it, but you just win them because you're on a roll. So, yeah.
You don't. I'm not suggesting that you need to be yelling at each other or anything like that, but
yeah.
Mistakes are costing you. You guys are going to be nervous to make mistakes, but you don't want to play nervous. How kind of fine a line are you walking right now with? Not wanting to play afraid to make mistakes when these mistakes are killing.
Yeah, and back to Gene's question a little bit there too. It's like that's what it is to be a leader a little bit here. We can't. I mean, we know that the young guys are probably gripping the stick harder than we are. Even though I feel like terrible right now, and it doesn't feel good. Anything sucks when you lose. So. But at the same time, you got us it's a storm and it's whatever, but us in the room have to just remain calm, knowing that we're a great hockey team, knowing that we can beat any team in the league. We're just a matter of, you're not going to go 82 games without a bad stretch. And knowing that last year we got to 50 wins and there was a 10-game stretch where we were as bad. Those happen. You don't want to start that way, obviously. But now we're here. Now that's what's happened, and we just got to find solutions, and that's kind of where the focus is. I mean, it's not about any panicking or anything. That's not going to help anyone. So again, as I said, I think it's a solution-based team in here, and we as leaders and we as older guys need to really hammer that message home with the young guys, and just make sure we keep working, because I think we're doing some good things out there. We just need to tighten up a little bit.
So is it much easier the second time playing Nashville? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's obviously easier to be at home too. Don't have to deal with the emotional part of that. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Obviously, it's a lot of my friends, and they still are, even though they're on the bad team. So we'll have a dinner tonight and chat, and then go to war tomorrow. So hopefully we get out on the winning side again.
So do you think Saros knows you better than you know him after shooting all those pucks against him?
Well, I usually don't score 40 goals a year, so I don't think he thinks of me as much of a threat. But no, he's an unbelievable goaltender. I think the world of him. So I'm going to do my best, because obviously you want to score on the best, and I think he's up there. So I don't know. I think he probably knows me more than I do him, because my game is not all about scoring, but his game is all about saving. So I would say I give that nod to him.
Who buys? The guy who left, or the guy who got traded, or the rest of the guys? Or you go Dutch?
They're actually coming to my house, so I have a tough time seeing them pay. But
You could leave a bill or something.
yeah, right. I should be doing that, but no, it's nice. I mean, I went to Forsberg's house and had a couple guys over when I got there, so we'll have them over now, and yeah, it'll be fun.
Very good.